Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today we're diving into the enchanting world of fragrant flower beds and lush greenery for your home. Every garden tells a story, a narrative woven through petals and leaves, scents and colors. Our task is to become not just gardeners, but authors of these living tales. Imagine stepping into your garden, where the air is perfumed with the sweet scent of jasmine and lavender. The gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze provides a soothing backdrop to the vibrant hues of blooming flowers. Let's begin our journey by exploring the foundation of any successful garden design. Understanding your space. Every plot of land, no matter how small or urban, has its own microclimate, its own patterns of sun and shade, its own soil composition. To create a truly harmonious garden, we must first listen to what the land is telling us. Take a moment to observe your space throughout the day. Notice where the sun lingers longest. Where shadows fall, where the wind whistles through. These observations will guide our plant selections and inform our design decisions. Remember, we're not imposing our will on nature, but rather collaborating with it to create something beautiful. Now, let's delve into the heart of our topic, designing fragrant flower beds. The art of combining scented plants is akin to composing a symphony. Each plant represents a different instrument, contributing its unique notes to the overall composition. Our goal is to create a harmonious blend that delights the senses without overwhelming them. Consider starting with a base note of lavender, soothing scent, providing a calming foundation for our aromatic composition. Intersperse this with the bright, citrusy notes of lemon thyme or the sweet perfume of heliotrope. For a touch of drama, add the intoxicating fragrance of night-blooming jasmine. Scent intensifying as the sun sets. But fragrance is just one aspect of our design. We must also consider the visual rhythm of our garden. Think of your flower beds as a painting, with each plant contributing to the overall composition. Use taller plants like delphinium or hollyhocks as vertical accents, drawing the eye upward and adding depth to your design. In the midground, plant lush perennials, like peonies or coneflowers, their sturdy forms providing structure and continuity throughout the seasons. Edge your beds with low-growing plants like alyssum or creeping thyme. Their delicate blooms softening the transition between garden and pathway. Color, too, plays a crucial role in our design. While it's tempting to include every hue of the rainbow, a more focused palette often yields more striking results. Consider working with a monochromatic scheme. Exploring the myriad shades of a single color. A bed of purples, from the deep violet of salvia to the soft lilac of catmint. Can be breathtakingly beautiful in its simplicity. Alternatively, explore the drama of complementary colors. Picture a bed where the fiery orange of marigolds dances with cool blue of cornflower. create a sense of serenity with a pastel palette of soft pinks, lavenders, and creamy white. Remember, in garden design as an art, it's often what you leave out that makes the composition sing. As we design our fragrant flower beds, let's not forget the importance of texture. A garden that engages not just our sense of smell and sight, but also touch, is truly immersive. Incorporate plants with interesting textures. The velvety leaves of lamb's ear, the feathery fronds of asparagus fern. The rough bark of a mature tree. Consider, too, the movement of your garden. Tall grasses swaying in the breeze add a dynamic element to your design. Their gentle rustling, a soothing counterpoint to the stillness of more structured plants. Climbing plants like clematis or morning glories can add vertical interest, their vines reaching skyward in a graceful dance. Now let's turn our attention to the green aspect of our design. lush, verdant backdrop that sets off our fragrant blooms. A well-designed garden isn't just about flowers, it's about creating a balanced ecosystem where all plants thrive in harmony. Start by considering the bones of your garden, the evergreen shrubs and trees that provide structure year-round. These plants are the anchors of your design, offering permanence amidst the ever-changing tapestry, seasonal blooms. Choose varieties that complement your overall design aesthetic. For a formal garden, consider the clean lines of boxwood or yew. For a more naturalistic look, native shrubs like viburnum or elderberry can provide both structure and ecological benefit. Integrate a variety of leaf shapes and sizes, create visual interest even when flowers aren't in bloom. The large, tropical leaves of a banana plant can provide a stunning contrast to the delicate fronds of a Japanese maple. The key is to create a pleasing rhythm of forms that leads the eye through the garden. Don't forget the power of foliage color in your design. While green is the dominant hue in most gardens, there's a vast spectrum of greens to explore. From the silvery green of eucalyptus to the deep, almost black green of certain hostas. Incorporate plants with variegated or colored foliage to add pops of interest throughout your garden. As we design our lush green spaces, let's consider the concept of layering. Just as in nature, a well-designed garden should have multiple levels of planting. Start with a canopy layer of trees, providing shade and shelter for the plants below. Beneath this, incorporate an understory of smaller trees and large shrubs. Next, add a shrub layer of medium-sized plants, followed by a herbaceous layer of perennials and annuals. Finally, include a ground cover layer to protect the soil and provide a finished look to your design. This layered approach not only creates a visually rich environment, but also mimics natural ecosystems. Providing diverse habitats for wildlife and promoting overall garden health. It's a perfect example of how good design can be both beautiful and ecologically sound. Water is another crucial element in creating a lush, vibrant garden. Even in drier climates, clever design can help retain moisture and create the illusion of abundance. If a pond or fountain isn't feasible, consider a rain garden. These specially designed areas capture rainwater runoff. Allowing it to slowly percolate into the soil. As we design our fragrant lush gardens, let's not forget the importance of sustainability. A truly beautiful garden is one that works in harmony with nature, not against it. Consider incorporating native plants into your design. These species are adapted to your local climate and soil conditions. Requiring less water and maintenance once established. They also provide essential habitat and food sources for local wildlife, turning your garden into a thriving ecosystem. Embrace the principles of permaculture in your design. This approach to gardening mimics natural ecosystems. Creating self-sustaining landscapes that require minimal input once established. Consider planting guilds, groups of plants that support and benefit each other. For example, a fruit tree underplanted with nitrogen-fixing plants and mulched with comfrey leaves creates a mini ecosystem where each element supports the others. As we craft our aromatic oasis, let's consider the concept of garden rooms. Just as a home is divided into spaces with different functions, so too can a garden be segmented into distinct areas, each with its own character and purpose. This approach not only adds interest to your design, but also allows you to create a sense of journey and discovery as one moves through the space. Perhaps you'll have a sunny Mediterranean-inspired herb garden, fragrant with rosemary and thyme. Transitioning into a shady woodland glade filled with ferns and hostas. Or maybe a formal rose garden gives way to a wild meadow of native flowers. Each room can have its own color scheme, plant palette, and mood, united by common elements that tie the whole design together. As we design these spaces, consider the importance of transition zones. The areas between your garden rooms are opportunities to create intrigue and guide the eye. A simple archway covered in fragrant climbing roses. Mark the entrance to a new area. A winding path through a grove of birch trees can create a sense of anticipation for what lies beyond. Let's not forget the hardscaping elements that complete our design. Pathways, patios, and seating areas are not just functional elements. But opportunities to enhance the overall aesthetic of your garden. Choose materials that complement your plantings and reflect the style of your home. Curved path of natural stone might be perfect for a cottage garden. While clean lines of concrete pavers could suit a more modern landscape. Incorporate vertical elements to add height and interest to your design. Trellises, arbors, and pergolas not only provide support for climbing plants, but also create a sense of enclosure and intimacy. Imagine sitting beneath a pergola draped in wisteria. Its fragrant blooms hanging overhead as you enjoy a quiet moment in your garden. Lighting is another crucial element in garden design. Extending the enjoyment of your space into the evening hours. Soft uplighting can highlight the graceful form of a tree or the texture of a stone wall. As we continue our journey through the world of garden design, let's consider the role of seasonality in creating a truly dynamic and engaging space. A well-designed garden isn't static. It's an ever-changing tapestry that unfolds throughout the year, offering new delights with each passing season. In early spring, when the world is just awakening from its winter slumber, imagine your garden bursting forth with the delicate blooms of snowdrops and crocuses. As spring transitions to summer, your garden explodes into a riot of color and fragrance. This is the time for roses, their heady scent filling the air on warm evenings. Lavender and rosemary release their aromatic oils in the heat of the day. Creating a sensory experience that transports you to sun-drenched Mediterranean hillside. Tall spires of delphinium and foxgloves add vertical interest, while the feathery plumes of astilbe provide a soft, dreamy contrast. But let's not forget the importance of green during this time of floral abundance. The lush foliage of hostas and ferns provides a cool, refreshing counterpoint to the exuberant blooms. Consider incorporating plants with interesting leaf textures and colors. The silvery foliage of lamb's ear, purple-tinged leaves of heuchera, or the dramatic, tropical-looking leaves of canis. As summer fades into autumn, your garden takes on a new character. The vibrant hues of fall foliage create a breathtaking backdrop for late-blooming perennials. asters, and chrysanthemums provide pops of color. While ornamental grasses come into their own. Their feathery plumes catching the golden light of autumn afternoons. This is also the time when many berries ripen. Adding another dimension to your garden's visual appeal. The bright red berries of holly or the deep purple fruits of beautyberry can provide food for birds and visual interest for humans well into the winter months. Even in winter, a well-designed garden can be a place of beauty and interest. Evergreen shrubs and trees provide structure and color when deciduous plants have shed their leaves. Winter-blooming plants like witch hazel or hellebores offer unexpected bursts of color and fragrance during the coldest month. By carefully selecting plants that shine in different seasons, you can create a garden that offers year-round interest and enjoyment. This approach not only ensures that your outdoor space is always engaging, but it also provides a deeper connection to the natural rhythms of the year. Let's now turn our attention to the concept of creating outdoor rooms within your garden. Imagine stepping out of your back door into a small, formal herb garden. Neatly clipped boxwood hedges frame beds filled with aromatic herbs like sage, thyme, and oregano. A simple fountain provides a focal point, its gentle splashing adding a soothing auditory element to the space. This area serves as a transitional zone between the house and the larger garden beyond. Its structured design echoing the architecture of your home. As you move further into the garden, the formality gradually gives way to a more naturalistic style. A winding path leads you through a woodland glade, where shade-loving plants like ferns, hostas, and wood anemones thrive beneath the dappled shade of mature trees. The air is cool and moist here, a refreshing contrast to the sun-baked herb garden. Emerging from the shade, you find yourself in a sunny perennial border, alive with color and movement. Tall grasses sway in the breeze, their feathery plumes catching the light. Clusters of coneflowers and black-eyed Susans attract butterflies and bees. Their bright colors a vivid contrast to the softer hues of the woodland area. the far end of the garden, a secluded seating area provides a quiet retreat. Let's also consider the concept of repetition in garden design. Repeating certain plants or colors throughout your garden creates a sense of rhythm and cohesion. This doesn't mean planting in rigid patterns. But rather echoing elements in different parts of the garden. For instance, you might use the same variety of ornamental grass in several different beds. Or repeat a particular color scheme at intervals throughout a border. Thank you for joining me on this extended exploration of garden design.